So with only a squad size of 24 players, League 2 playoff winners Crawley Town are absolutely screwed over. They've sold 10 of their best players, including their top scorer Orsi, their best player Kelly, and they're only giving little deals out. Their League 1 striker is on a 6-month contract, and that is all down to the ownership WAGMI, a cryptocurrency brand that knows all about profit selling every single player. It's absolutely ridiculous. But one good thing for Crawley is their manager Scott Lindsay, who took over last year and is a seriously good manager, as today he carries it on and hopes to take his Crawley Town side to the top of football through big transfers. And this right here is the real-life Crawley Town team. Yes, I have gone through all the transfers. We've got our new players in. Just down here in the reserves, and 2 ex-Grimsby lads, Toby Malarkey and Gavin Houlihan. Missed the pair of those, as our best player, though, is a Scott Malone, 32. He's definitely going to go down in rating. And the youth, whilst it's okay, of course, 2 of them players are on loan. We desperately need to improve. And how are we going to do that? By using this 3 million as well as we possibly can, because I'm not putting any rules in this rebuild. It would be bloody impossible. As somehow we've got to keep this rotated side up now. That's our best side on paper in League 1. And I'm going to start this journey by going to tactics. We've got to go a counter-attack style football, or it could even be kick and rush. But no, I'm going to stick to counter-attacking. And coach as well. With the money we've got, I don't really want to go into those. Also, Youth Academy, I'm a bit in the air with that, as I just think our money can be put into real-life youth. As the first player I'm looking at, and the scout has brought back to us, Mansour Arawa Tagba from Munich, 1860 Munich. 18 years old only, full of pace. 60 rated. And with the ownership themselves actually being, I believe, American or Canadian, it's one of those, we've gone ahead and brought him over the pond. Trying to youthen up our team, as that is a young striker on the bench. We've already got a quite young one. I think he's 24, Hepburn Murphy. And he's got enough pace. He sits at 88, this guy up front. Telford, 26. I mean, we do have usable strikers now. Back to the defense, because when I've shifted to this page, you can see most of our old players are in defensive positions. And on top of that, we don't have one solid right back at the club, and Hussein Bilair, he's not solid in himself, but he's better than what we have at the club. And do you see the sponsor on the arm? It's the Brick Bin, a Lego company, and that table behind me is fully Lego. So I'm a fan of the kit, and I'm also a fan of having a 60 rated team, but still, is it strong enough to survive in this 3rd tier? Gotta say, I think no, as we've got 2 million left though. We've got to sign some contracts up, and then go player shopping, as we need a big player, and I'm releasing 2 big players, but a 35-year-old and 36-year-old, I don't mind letting them go at all. In fact, should help us with our budgeting, especially next season, as I actually want 2 more players. The first one, Dean Cornelius, and the second one, IRL Grimsby Town player, George McEachran. As here is Dean Cornelius, he's the first one through the door, but unfortunately, George McEachran just doesn't want to sign a contract. So instead, with the 769k I've got to spend, I've scooped up the relegated Ben Garrity of Port Vale. A last-minute panic buy. I know I'm getting known for them now. I just wanted to get the numbers up, as speaking of getting the numbers up, here on this channel, we have a huge aim. We aim high, 50,000 subscribers before the turn of the new year. I'm gonna try and elevate the FC25 content as much as possible, but if you want to be here before that, hit the subscribe button down below. Would absolutely mean the world to me. And this is the team, which isn't world beaten in itself, but we've got a few decent players. Flint, this centre-back, the left-footed, only 23. Anderson in this team, 22. 2 youngsters. And not forgetting our benchman, Waro Tagba, who can actually go straight into the team, ahead of Hepburn Murphy. As the big thing that got me, the morale wasn't bad at all. Increases all around the team, and our top scorer, Dom Telford, 24 goals. But Ben Garrity, 19 and 13 assists. I didn't expect that from a panic buy. But it seems it was pretty decent, and we've been pretty decent as well. 10th in League One. I just wanted to avoid relegation. Unbelievable stuff. As in the FA Cup, we're not in the final. I don't think we got very far. Can't even see us in round 1. Knocked out by Wickham. As I know we did well in the Carabao, I think we actually went ahead and beat Leeds United on penalties, where we went and lost to Northampton, as I think they were relegated. Who are the relegated clubs? Mansfield, Reading. Reading going down is actually brilliant for signing players, as we also lost in a cup final of the BSM Trophy. Well, that was unexpected. Season 2 with Crawley to actually be in League 1 and near the top of League 1. As who's actually joined us in this league this year? I see Doncaster, Fleetwood, Huddersfield still here, Sheffield Wednesday, Plymouth. Alright, so the teams that have got relegated, I think we should be beating. I'm hoping so anyway. If we do go and get a budget, but £3 million again, it's a little bit on the lower side, but we made it work. Last year, as we don't necessarily need a lot of players, we could replace Malone. I know that sounds stupid, but he's 33 years old. But of course, I want a centre-back, and I do need another keeper. We only have one at the club, and with Jojo being 27... Jojo, I love that name. We could do with a younger one and also a young centre-back. As you should have known already, straight to Reading. Straight to Reading. Tom McIntyre, I think he's at Portsmouth in real life. But here, he's joining Crawley Town in the ballpark region of, I think, 1.3 million. So more than I wanted to pay, but he goes straight into centre-back, as I might leave Malone alone and actually go for a backup keeper, which is this man, Aske Anderson, 18 years old only, and he is 6'6", and he's got a beautiful little helmet on. And will he walk in with it? Yes, he does. Oh my days. That is absolutely unreal. Shame he isn't wearing it in his picture, but still, that's our bench full. And now we can just go first team, where right back, again, is our weakest position. But 703k, I've got an idea with it. As first of all, I must say, no free agents today, as these players, though, loanies from the Premier League. As the first one I want to get in, Finn Back. He's been in this league before with Carlisle, I believe. Going to get him from Forest. As in fact, I'm actually going to try get a few in on loan. But Finn Back is the first one. Very happy about his signature. But he'll have some competition. Ed Turns is more central. But the other one that we've got is another right back or right wing back. Dexter Lekembisaka. I cannot say that name. I've butchered it. But not butchered this team, as once we change Dexter to a right wing back to fit the formation, this is how our new lineup looks. Right, and let's hope for a better season as I flick to the central hub. 13th. Okay, not awful, not where we want to be, but yeah, I just think we're better than that. Plymouth there, and it is a mid-table finish. Not good enough at all, and nowhere in the FA Cup. Manchester United win it, as Leicester win the Carabao. And the Bristol Street Motors, after last year's final disappointment, look at this year. It is the same again. I can't believe it. Very similar seasons, but, you know, last season we were awful, and this year's team, well, it does look a lot better, don't it? Our loanie's done all right. Our right wing back, Dexter especially. And how many goals have we got? 21 from Dominic Telford. As the worst bit of this season, not of course being League One, but the contract's running out to Ben Garrity. Conroy, he's actually been replaced, but one player who's irreplaceable, Dexter, our right wing back, as we've got to search for one again. Genuinely getting sick of it, but at least our budget's doubled. We've got £6 million now. That's what 2 finals gets you. As yes, so this man is going to leave, Lembisika. I'm trying to say his name right, but the other player also has to leave. Scott Malone's never been decent, and Malarkey, who is a Grimsby Town player, or ex-Grimsby Town player, he's probably bench quality, and Dean Cornelius is close to being, has submitted a transfer request. I do want him to stay in the midfield and be joined by, well, potentially some Scottish teammates. Scottish League we're looking in to try and find a bargain this season. And that we may have done, as I've gone ahead and found 2 players. Or Dida, I mean, he does cost over 1 million, and we've got to pay release clauses. As also Duncan K. No Scottish player actually wants to join League One for football, but if we pay that release clause, especially for Duncan, we'll be getting a decent player, as here he is, walking into the training ground. I'm very happy with this, but I'm going to leave the right back, opting for prioritising our left back, and Mats Rots of 20, we can get him on loan first of all, but in contract negotiations, look at the future transfer fee. That is a steal, and we are going to be stealing him. Initially got on loan just to see if he trains well as a wingback, and lets us now know thoroughly how much to spend on a right back. Which, for your information, is £3 million left, and I'm going to get this man who's even cheaper, Josh Key. Punch into the championship, and that felt so nice. I think I've got to do it again, surely, haven't I? As after selling Gavin Houlihan and I believe the centre-back Conroy, we've gone ahead and stole the prospect of Terry Devlin. Another young player added, as look how young we're becoming. This team's getting a lot better, but will it be better in the league? Right, okay, 3rd season in League One, and I'm starting with the ratings, which honestly, some of these look championship quality, or high championship quality, with the youth they have as well in them. Duncan K, 19, Oro is 21, and for some reason on the transfer list, as we can't change Mats Rots, I have been playing him at left back, he's up to a 68 rated, and well, yeah, we can't pass up on a man like that for only under $500,000, or just over, sorry, $500,000. A good chunk of money, as this is the squad on the whole, and I've just moved him back to wing back. That does not look good at all. -1s all round, unhappy faces all round. If we are not in the playoffs, I don't care if we even lose them, we've just got to be at them as standings. Oh my days. Oh my days. 7th in League One. In real life, I keep saying this will be brilliant for Crawley, but where we are now in this save, that is horrible. In our 4th season, 4th, we're going to still be in this division as Sunderland Man United. That's the FA Cup finale. Carabao Cup, it's already won by Aston Villa. And the Bristol Street Motors, no finale this year. Right, it's £6 million again. But if this season doesn't go right, I'm going to throw hands now at Scott Lindsay, the manager. How's he not got us promoted? All 70s plus, apart from our left wing back. Oh, and also our goalkeeper, Wallacott. Could we get a keeper again? I mean, I would have hoped Anderson grew just to see that helmet in the final. But of course, we're a long way off the final. Champions League, we just want to get to the championship. And I can't believe I'm still doing it, but I'm shopping in League 2 as Victor Johansson somehow in the bottom tier. I think we've done badly, but Rotherham have gone from the championship to League 2. Definitely don't want to be in their shoes, but I wouldn't mind stealing. You know, players already in their shoes, I'll steal their shoes, their water bottles, and all their bloody players. As that is a bank breaker though, 2.8 million. Anyone else at the Millers we can just take to our side? Yes, there is. Look at this striker now. 5-star week for Andres Lopez. What's he doing at Rotherham? Now, I've got to be careful with this still. We don't want to go overboard. I just want to pay what he's worth. And see, that's what I expected. A 10% sell-on clause, a lot more money than expected, but I want the player. As Mansour's pretty young, Hepburn's 27, Dom Telford's 29, plus he needs another contract sorting. But not until we seal the deal on Lopez. Is the Darwin Núñez regen, and I hope that's a good thing. Straight into the team, and I'm thinking taking Telford out. He's 2 years older than Hepburn Murphy, who can stay on our bench. Or actually, could we shuffle it round so we get pair of them on? That is a stronger bench. Ronan Darcy, the weakest player, who I'll probably release, as we've got nothing left in the bank, or next to nothing. We've gambled, and we've got to get promoted. As look at the young talent. This squad was ancient when we got here, and now the ancient players at the club are actually the worst ones. Am I losing my head? Yes. Did you see the team we had? How are we not promoted? As Rots stays at 70. One position change down, but our team is up. Literally, this team right here would survive the Premier League. And tell me, am I exaggerating? Seriously? We've got a 20-year-old K who's actually playing next to Key. Sounds pretty funny that, don't it? But he was 75 rated, and our top scorer, Mansour, 19. He's got 75 or 75 overall, as look, QPR down here, who are at the top. Oh my days, thank you. Thank you. I skipped the bottom. I honestly thought we might have been bottom then. We did sign Rotherham players, and they of course did get relegated. But promotion to the Championship, it's definitely come too late into the save. No FA Cup success, and I'm guessing no other cup success, as Carabao Cup goes to Manchester City, of course, of all teams. And finally, another one. We win the Bristol Street Motors on penalties over Peterborough. Get in there, lads. That's good stuff. So now 2 trophies down, but 4 seasons deep. Can we get this team scoring? Look at the strike partnership. Still young. A youngish midfield and a brilliant defence. I don't know about you, but I think we're becoming pretty sorted. It's showing the Champions League right there as a £7 million budget. Not bad at all. And of course, I've just shown you this team. You'd think we have to strengthen wing back, but Rots is only 21. As our oldest starting player, oh my days, Malone needs to get released. It's probably Garrity, 30, so I do want another midfielder. Then again, we've got Cornelius. We're covered in a lot of aspects. He can stay on the bench. We can just get stronger. As my first question is, yes, we can buy from Scotland. Rory Barrett I want. Yes, I know he's not the highest of ratings, but being a regen player, I had to go and buy him, as this is very interesting though. A bid for Andres Lopez, who did have a very good season and still has a lot of potential, but I'm going to ask for 14 million. And if Thomas Frank pays that, he will replace Ivan Toney. As I stepped it down one, and they've accepted 13, that's an extra 2 million. As Lopez out of the door, as we welcome a midfielder in, but we're 8 million in profit, plus we've just signed from Aberdeen. So bye-bye Andres Lopez. We can put all that money maybe into one striker in specific. Then again, don't want to waste money. I want to youthen up the team, as his replacement is going to be Francesco Pierre Esposito from Troyes, and he's going to be a lot cheaper than him, as we've just gone ahead and signed a 74 rated 22-year-old striker and sold one for double the price we've signed him for. Make it make sense, EA, as £8 million now, and you know what that means? Speed up for a spending spree. As firstly, let's welcome in for 1.3 million, Daniel, and then for 1.7, Lucas Cuppias, the centre-back. But then, last but least, I think you'll like this one more so if you are a Crawley Town fan, Antonio Foti. The reason I say this is because last season, Crawley Town had a Cypriot player and he was very good, but did leave them. So I wanted to, you know, bring a little bit of Cypriot back, as that is our championship team, and I think we should go up. I mean, seriously, lads, how do you like them apples? 82 rated in the Championship, 4 of them. One being top scorer, it is Oro. I'm going to call him Oro, Mansur, Tagba, whatever. And Telford getting 23. He actually played more games. That's weird to me because he's not in the team, as already I can tell it is playoff football. Sunderland we face, West Brom and Preston. Right, no Watford in there, and if you've watched this channel for a while, you know I hate Watford, as we actually finished 4th. And also, if you've watched this channel for a while, you'll know about the sponsor. Soccer Deal Shop make cheap and very good high quality replica football kits, of course, because the prices are outrageous in the real market. I've just ordered from Soccer Deal Shop, and if you do use this code, you not only help the channel, but you get a cheeky little discount, 10%, win-win. As you can see, we didn't win the FA Cup, and I believe not the Carabao. All about Sunderland, and our team's a little bit unhappy, showing we probably expected to go for promotion. Not a good start, but in the second leg, a 3-0 win, so we have comfortably got to the final, just a little bit of a slip-up, which we cannot afford to have in this big game against Preston, as we do win it. Telford sends us to the Premier League. And what about that for a full circle moment? One of the players been here the longest, Dom Telford, 31, who I'm pretty sure this bad ownership have tried to get out many times, but he's here and he's staying. I'm signing him up in the Prem. As speaking of signing up, where else do we actually go? We've got a solid defence, but McIntyre, I bet he's, 29, getting a little bit older, and then Rots is young, Flint's okay. I mean, we've got a youngish team. We're sorted for a bit of future. Oh, longevity's the word, as 42 million, solid team, solid bench. We can put that wherever we want, even into another striker. Esposito's been all right, but Hepburn Murphy, he doesn't look all that. He's got pace to burn, and that's about it. So I'm going to burn our cash on a brand new flashy man. Being this guy, Marco Leitzig of Monza. He must like to stay in Milan, because I'm pretty sure he was at AC, as I'm willing to pay 24 million. He probably does start ahead of Esposito, and they do want Tom McIntyre on a cheaper deal. That is perfect. Perfect. Get rid of him. We can spend 30 mil on a centre-back. As how well has that legit gone? Our new number 10's in town, Marco Leitzig. Or Leitzig. He's Serbian. Of course it's going to be itch, as I've got an itch to sign this man. Abakar Silya. Not young, not old, not world class, not stupidly bad. He's good. 25, 6'1", he will do, as that team will do. It'll more than do. That should survive easily, as we've got a decent bench as well. Youngsters could grow a bit more, as we're going to try and make that happen through coaches and a play style. In gegenpressing, not counter, not tiki-taka, not anything else. I feel this philosophy is what our team is worthy of. And all of a sudden, I'm nervous. Yes, it's just kicked in right here. Lindsay, come on, lifters. We should not be near the bottom. And actually, we're not. It's a 13th place finish. Pretty decent. And our rivals, Brighton, going down, as they're quite close to each other. And also, these teams are close to each other in the FA Cup final, as Carabao is Liverpool's. Now the trophy's out of the way and everything that goes alongside it, we can finally look at our team. And there's one change to make. Devlin is not playing because of Barrett, who's going into the team. Another youngster into it. I don't want too many youngsters dominating the scene. And to be fair, a lot of our OG youngsters actually not youngsters anymore. Mansour is 24. Max Anderson, 28. Them two here from the start, as of course Mansour scored a lot of goals. Esposito scored a lot. And not much from Marco Leitzig. Don't know how to feel, because of course he's got a good rating, an 83, which is higher than the scorer of more goals, Pio Esposito, and Telford staying on the bench, as I think the first position will look back to our defence. Key's gone from being key, moving all the way from Swansea, and now he's going on the transfer list because we don't want him any longer. As also, I'm still thinking maybe Pio, he is on the transfer list, he submitted a request, which you would do if you're scoring goals, and still sat on the bench as 46 million. If I could sell Leitzig, I would. Can we actually sell him? I mean, he has been here a season, so Leitzig onto the transfer list. I'll just see what bids come in for all of our strikers, really, as we can always improve there. And I've literally skipped one day before Newcastle want to steal Esposito, or Esposito, whatever. I was always struggling with how long his name was, and I've got the longest name possible, but yeah, I still struggle with speaking it. 55 million plus Hepburn Murphy money. That's only 2 million, but it all adds up in the end, especially when we sell Key for another 20 million pounds. Look at the profit we've made. Now we're on to 108 million, but of course we have players light, which we're going to go and replace straight away. As the first one, well, I've tried to be pretty smart with it. Isa Sissoko for £8 million only. Yes, I know he's not as strong as Esposito, who we literally just sold on. But for a bench player, that's just fine. Speaking on the bench, we could do with another centre-back, but I am prioritising right wing-back. As here's a bigger one for you guys. It is Brandon Soppy. I don't know why I haven't got the Atlanta badge. 82 rated Frenchman anyway. But he will not be alone as Kalulu. Yes, the AC Milan centre-back was at Torino. Don't know why you're gonna cross there. Allowing us to drop Flint. Yes, I know he's the captain and we'll shuffle all of them across. Because yes, Cilia's left-footed. And put Soppy in at right wing back as that is a much better Crawley side. But still, we've got a bit of money. Anyone worth signing? £23 million. It'd probably have to be a player out and a player in with the money. Get it? A load of money together. And with Wolves, well, putting in an £87 million bid in for Leipzig, well, you just know he has to go. As now it's gone up again to 104 million, and it's all going on a striker. I'm going to show you who. As here he is, João Pedro of Southampton. As for a club record fee, he stays on the South Coast. And this is the look of the Crawley Town team. Can you believe it? 87s all over the shop, a 90 rated João Pedro. Now his rating was up there already, but I am very glad with that. There's one more change to make in the lineup. Devlin, a real-life player back in the team. But where do we finish in real life? Or in this simulation, unfortunately. Sorry, Crawley Town fans, but in the distant future, you will not be fourth in the Premier League. Or maybe you will. If it happens in real life, then fair play to them. But that is amazing. 3 points over Liverpool. Crawley for Champions League. As is it Crawley for any trophies? No, not the FA Cup. And the Carabao Cup goes to City. Chelsea in both finals. Fair play, fair play. As look at our ratings again, why don't you? I'm going to force feed it to you. We've got brilliant strikers at the club and one American for the owner. As João Pedro is top scorer though, our 90 rated gem betrays Brighton for the Red Devils. As yes, if you didn't know that, Crawley Town nicknamed Red Devils, and of course there's another Red Devils, but a worse one in the Premier League. Man United, that cheap rip-off. As where do we have to sign this year? A Champions League team? We should have a Champions League budget. £132 million, not euros, not dollars. That's all GDP. Or whatever it is, I don't know. Our centre-backs look strong enough. I do think we replaced Devlin. Do we replace another man? That's right, Sissoko on the bench hasn't grown, but Dom Telford, I am speaking about you, mate. We are in the Champions League. I think it's time he goes, as we could also do with a few bench players. But first, to our first team, and we're getting a midfielder. Specifically, this man, Alex Scott at Valencia. And yes, he's the same rating as Devlin, but it lets me shout out the second channel where this man is an absolute beast. Yes, click below or above, wherever, to see a series. Can't remember the last time I shouted that channel out in specifics, as now I think our first team is pretty much done. As it's now spring cleaning time, or should I say bench filling time. We need a wingback, goalkeeper, centre mid, striker, and 85 million is more than enough. And we can still sell some of those players. So again, to the signing spree. As first up is wingback Bakker, who's experienced. With Atlanta and Sevilla, of course, he's won a couple of Europa Leagues. And second through the door is this man called Burner. He's not too good, but he was cheap from the Portuguese league. As this man was also cheap, Franco Israel from West Brom, who's moved alongside his teammate Castellanos, the striker. As that, my friends, has absolutely done us in. All our money is now gone, and we've got a quality bench, it seems. As look at that. That is a lot better, and should help us out with a relatively easy group. Let's have that final in the bag, shall we? Because this team is looking amazing. But Scott, oh my days, our midfield conundrum. Every single time we get a decent one signed, the player signed before wants to go and play again. Not too much of an issue, as long as our strikers are doing okay. João Pedro, 92, and Oro, oh no, joining Spurs. I think that's got to be a release clause, surely. I didn't miss his contract out. I wouldn't be that stupid. Or maybe I was, I don't know. As he was top scorer as well. Well, we should be getting some money for him, especially with his contract being released. Get a little bit of compensation as Man United in 10th. I mean, we finished 5th, but at least we're the better Red Devils. Not too great, though. Not too great. We haven't won any trophies since Prem level. Or am I actually wrong? No. Oh, my days as well. We did reach the final. Manchester City. Oh, my days. The team with the worst owners beaten by the cheating owners. I'm only joking, City fans. I'm not, as we finished top. Into the round of 16, where we flew past Bilbao, beat Real Madrid, and then beat Milan as well, putting us into the final against yours truly, City, who just did beat us in our domestic Carabao Cup trophy. That's a really good feeling, ain't it? And we've got a suspension, so Flint, maybe I trust you at left wing back. Just give him the first touch, though. I don't want him doing badly. And if you didn't know, we've got a kit mod. We do have the real-life Man City away kit, which I would say looks beautiful, but I'd be lying. It's really not. As Devlin, early tackle. Cabor, early handball. As I'm going to whip this free kick in. Devlin crosses it, and that's terrible. Don't let them counter-attack. Castro, we've slid in there and slid in again. I already processed it 10 minutes ago, and they've gone through on goal. Johansson off his line quickly, saving our bacon as Flint. Of course, he's an OG and he's out of position in the finale, as now it's João Pedro cutting inside. The ex-Brighton man, João Pedro, bottom corner. What an eventful start from them nearly scoring to us actually doing it. João Pedro is the king of Crawley. Beautiful little finesse. We've got to see this again. Just look how he glides inside the ex-Brighton Hove Albion, who are our rivals, being close in location, scores beautifully. Fantastic finish, worthy of a Champions League game, that's for sure, as Bellingham in their midfield with Foden. That's why they're not scoring. We all know from the Euros that doesn't work, as Pedro, look at the footwork, and look at the ball he's put through. It is Otara who should have scored again. Or whatever his name is. I will never say his name right. Foro with a shot. Testing Edison, the keeper. I'm surprised he's still going as well. He should be a pretty old man. Oh my days. Kalulu should have scored the second. Fine keeper for his age, as we just keep on pressing though. Fran Garcia, that is such a real-life City signing, as he's going to try and get inside. Kalulu, absolutely amazing. Feeds his French mate Soppy, as Soppy's going to get inside, and he's just got to keep on running. That's a beautiful running behind. It is Oro round the keeper. Edison lost his feet, and that is the second goal for Crawley. I cannot believe it. They're getting rattled by another Red Devils. This time not from Manchester. Get in. 2-0 at half-time, and Haaland, I've only just realised he's on the field. Really, really terrible. Stinky may be the word, as oh dear, oh my days, Haaland almost just bloody scores at the start of the half. We'll forget about that one. But here they come against City. Oh, that's better from Erling Haaland. Castro, bye-bye. That is a terrible finish. Or can you even claim it as one? As now Soppy, side of him, into Anderson. Good little cut away. He's gave the ball back into Soppy, who just needs to keep on running. Get the ball inside now. Anderson. Oh, so unlucky not to finish. All that is missing is a goal from him and a goal from a cross, as Anderson with the opportunity. João Pedro. Saved by the Brazilian. Won't be getting another goal, but I tell you what. Actually, maybe we could, because there's 2 minutes left on the clock. But no, I'm going to be toxic, passing it back because of all teams. It's Manchester City as the team with the worst owners. And yes, I know they got promoted, but they were terrible in business. Win the Champions League. As who's going to lift the trophy? It's going to be Anderson. Okay, I mean, he did everything but score. I guess it's fair, as there we go. Lifted into the sky, as if you want to see another rebuild like this, a bad ownership, or your team maybe isn't going right at the moment, comment it down below, and I will try and reach it on this FIFA or FC24, as if you want another video, there's ones right here.